He got 12 years in prison. She got 7. And then I believe an additional 7 years in parole on top of that. So immediately during the Monday night game, like, I'm done with the game. I was just like, oh my God, what happened? Like, that's a lot. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, it is a lot. I was actually in the same, it was just a couple days before that Elizabeth Holmes was sentenced as well to 11 years. She's also pregnant again.
Sure.
So she'll be having that baby in prison.
Little jail baby.
I think it's a big enough story because we just don't really believe that they're going to get that long because they spent their whole reality show was about how kind of opulent their life was and all his Botox and his clothes and everything, his mansion and so you go, wow.
Sure.
Because it sinks in where you go, you are going to spend 12 years.
12 years in prison. Yeah. And the wife is spending 7. Like, that's big boy sentence.
Too.
And so, again, during the Monday night game, like, that I just tossed at that point, I'm going through all the things in the articles because I wanted to know at this point. I was like, well, was it excessive? Was it not excessive? Apparently, the prosecution had recommended anywhere from 10 to 22, and they said that's normal. So, no, 12 years wasn't excessive, I guess.
What?
So I know I kept reading to find out what it really was. So here's what it actually was. And now, I don't feel bad for these people whatsoever. Those local banks you see as you kind of drive around, these little mom and pop banks who are...
Sunshine.
Yeah, like Texas.
Trust.
Would be like the Lone Star State of
Community
Cowboy Bank Center.
Bank. Yeah.
And it's something weird, and you're like, who goes there? Well, like, communities go there. Locals go there that don't necessarily trust a
elderly
Bank of America. Exactly. They don't necessarily trust a Bank of America or a Wells Fargo or something like that. And to be honest, over the years, because we've used both, the one that never failed and was the most trustworthy, and I got the most honest statements. I never got charged for like weird fees or we're going to clean up your account. That's $28. A management fee, was one of these local banks. We used one in Wilmington for a couple years. And Dan talks about it all the time about using like a local credit union for certain things, and you're going to get honest deals and everything else. That's true. And so I remember when I went in there to do a deal with those guys the first time, because it was something locally we were fixing up in Wilmington. It was either a house or an office or something like that. And you take out the money, you go through the thing. Well, the branch manager comes out and meets you in person. And it's like, hey, shakes your hand. It's like the old times where you're just like, oh, hey, is this an honest loan? Are you an honest person? Or, are you going to do X, Y, and Z? And you're like, yes. And I'll never forget shaking this guy's hand as I left. And there was something different about it where you actually felt more responsible to pay back this guy because he owned the branch and the thing or whatever. Sure. And the way that the employees referred to him was like the boss man of the thing. And it was very old school where you were just like, oh, okay.
Massa.
Yeah, well, that's definitely not that. Nope.
Oh, sorry.
Nope. Sure,
I didn't know how old-timey.
No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
Dollar bills are made out of cotton.
Nah, not doing that today, guys. Too close to Thanksgiving, okay?
Oh, Ross doesn't want to do that today.
Got a lot to be grateful for, all right? But yeah, it felt like that. And so when I looked into this guy's case, that's what they were doing, was they were going to all of these mom and pop banks around Georgia and Tennessee and all this stuff, asking for huge loans because they were celebrities. They were the most famous people in town.
Right.
Everybody knew the Chrisleys.
Right.
And by the time they had gotten through all of these banks, they had borrowed $30 million.
Okay.
From all of these mom and pop banks. Now, again, to compare this to a Bank of America or a Wells Fargo, they don't really have that. And they don't really have that kind of insurance. Like, that's going to take a while for these guys to get back, and it's going to fuck them horrifically.
Right.
So it's not like you went after JP Morgan or Chase or somebody like that. You went after, Lone Star Cowboy Kicks and Boots Bank.
Right.
And that's going to take a long time for these guys to recover. And it was based on, they had provided false statements, bank info from other banks. So apparently they had printed out fake bank accounts and transactions from bigger banks, took them in as hard copies into these banks, and then asked for loans and all this other shit. And they were maxing it out each and every local bank. So most banks, that size, they had $1 million, maybe $1.5 million tops. Well, they fucking cleaned them out. Chrisleys cleaned them out, and then they went around systematically and did this at all these other banks. Now, it all turned because they needed one witness, and the witness was the CPA, who was also Todd's gay lover.
Right.
Huge shock. Bob, can you do a Chrisley for us real quick?
Oh, hey, y'all. Did y'all come over? Y'all a little early. I was just upstairs eating a big old wet pussy.
I was just loving on my wife. Hey, guys, get out of here. I need some private time with my wife.
I'm about to rub on these boobies.
Yeah.
With my...
It was always like, get these cameras out of here. We're about to have big time sex. You're like, you're both in like full button up, like.
Yeah. Yep. So the gay lover / CPA turned on him, and he must have known he was in deep, deep shit. Because usually when you get a witness to flip like that, you get immunity. Sure. Now, whatever he did not qualify for immunity. So that's how egregious it was.
So the CPA got
3 years last night.
Okay.
So even in that, like, hey, dude, if you're willing to flip on them and turn all of them in, and you still have to serve 3 years.
So you
did some fucked up shit.
Yeah, this is making me think maybe we need to like look into Craig's finances. He just gave us another
hundo.
Basic. He doesn't go full hundo. He goes 99.
I think that's all you can. Craigers. What did he say here?
He just ordered 2 cases to help the cause and gave us. So, like, you have to think about what he spent on the cases. Then he's giving us this money. And so I'm just wondering if maybe the same people that investigated Chrisley maybe need to go after Craig.
So Craigers
in Iowa.
Craigers yesterday on the show said
he's very rich.
He said, hey, there's a shot that his team, Iowa, that doesn't exist, will play Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. He threw a hundo in. He said, let's go. And I said, Craig, you're super rich now. And yes, I will go. If Ohio State ends up playing Iowa, if Iowa miraculously makes it in 2 weeks, I will go with you to the game. But obviously I'm going to need seats on the 50, and it's club,
Wait,
like,
you're going to where?
If it happens. And Craig knows. Like,
no, but where?
It's the middle of Indiana, I believe it is. Yeah.
When? In a couple weeks?
Maybe. I don't think I was going to make it.
What a life you have.
I don't
what a life you have. We have such different lives, you guys. If I want to go to dinner. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Yes,
this
buddy,
is the Big Ten title.
It's the Big Ten title, yeah.
Okay.
Big Ten championship.
Okay. Good point. And he just gets to go, you know what? I'm going to go.
No.
And
Craigers, dude, this
balling
is for
out?
We do it for the people. This is not for me. I don't want to go and see us win another championship. I don't want to do that.
I know.
But I would have to, because Craigers is rich. And that's what has to happen in a couple weeks.
He is rich. And again, we're going to have to maybe investigate a little bit, Craig, because...
Yeah, we're going to have to check in on Craigers, dude.
Whatever, the chips are starting to fall.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for certain people that...
Yep. So the last part of this, by the way, is apparently they have a small baby or child. I don't know the Chrisleys that well. Forgive me. I actually think that I got all I needed out of both of you guys' impressions, and I don't really never need to watch the show.
We summed it up.
Yeah, I mean, so good. I don't think he has a baby, though, right, Bob?
Yeah, they have a young child, and so they've asked the judge to stagger the sentences. But my question to you, because you know this world more than I do, when a man and wife get sentences that lengthy, can you stagger those?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I know Giudice, the Real Housewives that had to go 3 and 5 years, they were able to stagger that.
Okay.
So...
Did she serve the full 3 years? Mm-hmm. She did.
I don't know if it was 3 years. She may have just gotten... She just got... I think he got 3 years. She got 18 months.
Okay.
So, he did his first, then
Sure.
I think.
Yeah.
Either way.
We knew they were getting divorced as soon as that was over.
Right.
But yeah, with that,
I think he
They
has a-
don't. Dude, the youngest I'm seeing is a fucking 16-year-old.
Yeah, so they don't actually have.
But I guess
a
that,
young.
yeah, it makes sense in so much as like he's not even out of high school. Like one of us needs to be there.
He's
with
a
him.
minor, technically,
so,
right?
Okay. This makes more sense then, because at the bottom of the article they said they were waiting for the child to turn 18. I guess when I read child, I pictured somebody smaller, but not a 16-year-old. So maybe
Yeah, that's their youngest.
2 years then would be yeah. I mean, I'm sure the judge will stagger hers then for 2 years, and then homeboy will go away for 12. Now I looked up his age. He's 53 years old, so he's not getting out until he's 65. Do you do it, or do you just end it?
Do I do the time?
Do you do 12 years at 53 years old? Do you personally do 12 years, or do you just end your life?
Oh, you get to just like rest. No kids around.
Where?
In prison.
You've been to prison, Jesse. That's not how it
Not
is.
federal. They're going to federal prison, right?
Yeah, they're going to federal prison.
Tennis court prison.
Oh yeah,
No,
they go
no,
to like
no,
Jordan
no.
Belfort prison.
No, they're going to federal prison.
He was fed.
Yeah, what I mean by is like, federal as far as like
Well, I saw
white collar. What do you even say?
Club
You know
fed.
what I mean? Club fed. Yeah.
I don't think it's. I don't think
If
it's
it's
there. I
just
don't think
money-
it's a Martha
Low
Stewart prison.
security.
Okay.
If it's money laundering, if it's this kind of thing, non-violent, that whatever.
Yeah.
It is different.
Okay.
Like the housewife was doing like yoga
All right.
and
Well, do you?
going for
So do you
walks
do that
and-
for 12 years?
gosh, sounds like a dream.
Okay. My answer's no. I'm fucking offing myself, but
When's he
Not
up for parole?
regular.
Jesus Christ.
Not regular prison. But yeah.
Is he
I'm
not
pulling
up,
the fucking trig, dude. That's it. I'm out.
Is he not up for parole? Before 12 years?
No. So he's got to serve the 12. I think it was something longer, and then they I think after 12, he can get out, and then he's got 7 years of probation, I believe, on top of that. So he'll be 72 checking in until he's 72. Hey, Chrisley, where are you? Just calling you, sucking dick. Okay, do you have your ankle bracelet on? Great.
Right.
Great. He's 72 years old.
But I also think his life when he gets out is to him also going to be worse than death as well. Because his whole persona was having, mansions and super nice cars and clothes and Botox and all of this. So I think he would probably rather die in general.
And
Like
Gen
then
Pop?
be in prison and then be poor. He's like, forget it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, if 12 at that age, nah, see you later, dude. Good night, cruel world. I'll see you in the morning. I'm fucking checking out of this life, dude.
Right.
Yeah, there's no way. Now, homegirl, 7, it's doable. And I think she's younger. Is she younger? What's her age, Bob? Do we know?
Not too much younger.
A couple years, though, right? Because that'll matter. If you're not getting into your 60s.
Yeah, she's 49.
Yes. So she's going to get out at 56. That's worth it. She'll have another fucking 25 years to figure shit out.
Yeah, but she'll be poor.
Yes. And that's, some say, a fate worse than death.
For these two, I'm telling
No,
you,
I know.
it is.
Look,
is.
they're literally going to jail for stealing money. So, I understand.
Also, Chrisley's going to be like, there's so many penises around.
I hate it.
I hate this. I just want my wife's vagina.
Yeah.
Dear Julie, I just miss your sweet, wet pussy,
Yep.
and I just wish I could lick all up on it and rub my
Yep.
big, strong wiener
Yep.
all up on your teeny, tiny little, delicious little pussy that I just love to eat.
Yeah. And that's Chrisley knows best right there.
That's Chrisley knows.
He knows best.
Calls from our new segment is Calls from Prison
With Todd Chrisley.
with Todd
Yeah.
Chrisley.
You have a collect call from.
We just say, hey, Chrisley, how's it going in there?
Oh, it's hell.
It's hell. I like pussy, and all there is dicks, and I just want to die.
So yeah, the whole family is gone. That's gone down, and then we're kind of done with that.